Thursday, January 14th, City Council at 7:00 p.m. Meeting remotely to hold its regular meeting for the purpose of discussing any and all business pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 38, Section 20, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Salem City Council will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with a right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the city's website at salem.com. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the city's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to watch, listen, or provide comment, if applicable, during the meeting may do so in the following manner. The webinar link is available on the agenda on salem.com. The webinar ID for Zoom is 873-098-7827 and follow the meeting password listed on the agenda. By phone, you can call the toll-free number at 877-853-5257 or 888-475-4499. When prompted, enter the meeting webinar ID 873-7098-7827 and follow the instructions to join the meeting. You may press *9 to raise your hand to speak if signed up for public testimony. This meeting is also being broadcasted live on SATV, Channel 22, as well as Facebook. Members of the public wishing to speak on the agenda items must follow the how to sign up for public testimony outlined in the agenda. Members of the public wishing to speak during hearings designated as public hearings may do so by following how to participate noted in the agenda. Regular meeting of the City Council is being held remotely on Thursday, January 14, 2021 at 7 p.m. for the purpose of transacting any and all business. Notice of this meeting was posted on January 12, 2021 at 9:09 a.m. This meeting is being taped and is live on SATV. Councilors absent, Councilor Dominguez, Council President Madore presided, Councilor McCarthy moved to dispense with the reading of the record of the previous meeting. All those in favor? Let the record show that I see 9 hands plus my own. President Madore requests that everyone please rise to recite the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilor Posnewski.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Before we proceed, I just want to first apologize for my squinting my eye. I'm not trying to send a secret message. I'm having issues with my eye, so please bear with me. Might be conducting my first meeting half blind here. So in the case that I cannot see very well enough to proceed, I'll ask Councilor, the good Councilor from Ward 1 to take over. But for now, I'm good. Public testimony. We have Ann Sterling, one member of the public that has signed up.
All right, so Ann, I unmuted you. If you want to unmute yourself and state your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Ann Sterling. I'm phoning in from 29 Orchard Street in Northfields.
Go ahead, Ann.
So I know that the council will be voting tonight on whether or not to proceed with the accepting of a bid for 20 Franklin Street Parcel B. So I just wanted to remind the council that per Elizabeth Renard and her memo of August 12th, parcel B has been deemed unbuildable because it is landlocked. Also, was sent out to bid. The parcel was at that time deemed undevelopable and landlocked. So that's all I wanted. I just wanted to have that in the record. I also sent Eileen Simons a copy of that so she'd have it. So that's all I have to say. Other than that, I support the sale to the bidder, and I thank him for that bid. I hope you guys will support the bid as well. And other than that, I just wish Councilor Turiel Godspeed on his future adventures. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. Hearings, none. Appointments and reappointments.
The mayor's reappointment of Kurt Inky Beauchamp of 19 Harbor Street to the Public Art Commission with a term to expire January 11th, 2023.
Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Councilor McCarthy moved for confirmation by roll call vote. Under discussion?
Thank you, Madam President. I want to thank Mr. Beauchamp for his desire to continue on the Public Art Commission. The Public Art Commission is doing a lot of good work, and I want to thank him for his continued dedication to the city.
Thank you, Councilor. Any further discussion? Being none, Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilor Turiel,
Yes.
Councilor Sargent,
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi,
Yes.
Councilor Prosnewski,
Yes.
Councilor Marcillo,
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy,
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth,
Yes.
Councilor Flynn,
Yes.
Councilor Dibble,
Yes.
and Councilor Madore.
Yes. On the matter of reappointment of Kurt Anthony Beauchamp to the Public Art Commission, 10 councilors voting, 10 affirmative, none in the negative, the matter carries. Further reappointments and appointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of John Boris of 5 Bedford Street to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board with a term to expire on January 14th, 2023.
Councilor Flynn.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Councilor Flynn moves to move for confirmation by roll call vote. Under discussion?
Yes, thank you. I just want to thank John for stepping up and doing this. For anyone that's from Salem knows John. He has done so much work for the community, so much work for our city, and so much work for the ward that I reside in. I'm very lucky to have John in our ward. I've got to know him well over the last couple of years, and I'm proud to call him my friend. Congratulations, and thank you for your continued work in moving the city forward.
Thank you, Councilor. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilor Turiel,
Yes.
Councilor Sargent,
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi,
Yes.
Councilor Prosnewski,
Yes.
Councilor Marcillo,
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy,
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth,
Yes.
Councilor Flynn,
Yes.
Councilor Dibble,
Yes.
and Councilor Madore.
Yes. On the matter of the reappointment of John Boris to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board, 10 councilors voting, 10 affirmative, none in the negative, the matter carries. Further reappointments and appointments. Councilor Hapworth.
We have the mayor's reappointment of Patricia Small of 18 Dalton Parkway to the Council on Aging Board with a term to expire January 14th, 2024.
Councilor Hapworth.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Councilor Hapworth moved for confirmation by roll call vote. Under discussion?
I just want to thank Patricia for her continued service to the community. I met her 2 years ago, and she's very passionate about our community, very passionate about our seniors. We're just thankful to have people like her serving the city.
Thank you, Counselor. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Counselor Toria,
Yes.
Counselor Sargent,
Yes.
Counselor Riccardi,
Yes.
Counselor Presniewski,
Yes.
Counselor Marcello,
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy,
Yes.
Counselor Hapworth,
Yes.
Counselor Flynn,
Yes.
Counselor Dibble,
Yes.
and Counselor Madore.
Yes. On the matter of the reappointment of Patricia Small to the Council on Aging Board, 10 councilors voting, 10 affirmative, none to negative, the matter carries. Further reappointments and appointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following to serve as constables with their terms of Donald Famico, January 21st, 2024, and Antonio Vieira, November 30th, 2023.
Councilor Marcello.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that this be received and filed.
Councilor Marcello move this be received and filed. Under discussion.
Just thank you for your continued work. Thank you.
On the matter of reappointment of 2 constables, should we take a roll call, Madam City Clerk?
Don't need it, but you certainly can.
On the matter of reappointment of Donald Famico and Antonio Vieira to serve as constables, all those in favor? Let the record show I see 9 hands plus my own. All those opposed? None. The matter carries. Councilor Riccardi.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to move that we go forward to page 13, further council matters, as we do have, I'm going to 13, City Council, communication from city officials, as we do have Ms. Renard in the attendance this evening to speak on the matter.
Councilor Riccardi moves we go out of order to page 13, communications from city officials. Any objections? Seeing none, we are on page 13. The first item, Madam City Clerk.
We have the following order from the city solicitor and the director of public property building commissioner relative to Franklin Street, that it be ordered that the mayor is hereby authorized to convey parcel B shown on the attached plan entitled Plan of Land 16182020R Franklin Street, Salem, dated June 5th, 2020, prepared by North Shore Survey Corporation and consisting of 15,297 square feet to Bayview Station LLC for the sum of $105,000 in accordance with the recommendation of the city's director of public property.
Councilor Riccardi.
Thank you. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Riccardi moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. So I will give a high-level recap of a story that I believe many of us are familiar with here on the council, but this is regards to parcel B, which is portion of the land in dispute, as we've been calling it, at 20 Franklin Street. This we had a discussion at the council over the summer regarding splitting up the parcel into 2 parcels, what we're calling parcel A, which is the parcel closer to the street, and parcel B. Parcel B went out to bid in the summer. We did receive a bid, as you can see here, on parcel B for $5,000 over the bid price, which was $100,000. And the bidder agrees to the items that were in the bid, which, as Ms. Sterling noted at the beginning of the meeting during public comment, that one of those items was that the land is unbuildable. You cannot build any buildings on the land, and it's landlocked, and also that the purchaser will remediate the land up to state codes to make sure that the environmental contamination that's within the soil of parcel B will be taken care of as well. And also, we do have the city solicitor in attendance if there were any questions regarding the sale of this, but if this passes this evening, there are still additional steps that need to take place. The next step would be the planning board will need to create this actual parcel, because this parcel is kind of been a talked parcel. It's not an actual parcel within the city books. So the planning board will need to meet to create the parcel. And this item will also go again in front of the conservation committee as well. So I guess I would like to see if there are any questions from my fellow council.
Thank you, Councilor. Any further discussion? Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. Good to hear that. Couple concerns I have that might be able to be addressed by the city solicitor, and it's the same issues that I've raised a few times over the last 2 or 3 years that we've had meetings on this. I think this is a great solution. It's good for the neighborhood, I believe, but we need to make sure that the neighborhood and the city are both protected on a couple different fronts. I did speak to the ward councilor on this earlier today, and I believe that we're in agreement. So when we talk about the property being unbuildable, that's because of the square footage of the property. But when it's added to the larger property that's going to be developed, then perhaps buildings and other things might sneak over and expand into this area. So as part of this order here tonight in our vote, I'd like to move that the solution be expanded a little bit so that, in fairness to neighbors and that the city of Salem is protected, that a deed restriction be placed on parcel B, specifying that it's a no-build parcel, no-build section to the bigger parcel that they'll merge into. Because when this parcel is added to the bigger parcel, they'll be able to put more units of housing on this property, as they've, I believe, as they already have permits for, or partial permits for. So I'm requesting that we move that a deed restriction, no build, be placed on parcel B. This way, additional units can't be added and creep into this portion. And then separately, and it's a separate discussion that maybe the city solicitor can address, I believe the developer is supposed to pay for the parking lot on parcel A that will remain city property, and the neighbors can use it for winter parking, and that users of the ball field and the playground can use it for public access, making the whole neighborhood better. Having a small parking lot there would be good, and if the developer wants to pay for it, and he's already, I guess, he's already agreed to it to some degree, how does that fit in as well? I know that's not part of this. We're talking about parcel B, but I don't believe this is going to come back before us, so I'd like to have it addressed here tonight. So I move that we add a deed restriction of no build on parcel B. Thank you, Madam President. And if the city solicitor can address those concerns, I would appreciate it.
Thank you, Councilor. Madam City Clerk, can you allow our city solicitor to speak? So the two questions that I have noted, first is conveyance of the parcel B with a deed restriction of no build. And then secondly, the question of whether the developer has agreed to pay for the parking lot.
Good evening, councilors. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So with respect to the first item, the property was put out with a no build restriction. So that is something that we already planned for. So councilor, that is perfectly fine. With respect to the second issue, we had discussions on the council level and in the mayor's office and myself with their attorney about the developer participating in the paving of the city lot when they do their lot. But we haven't furthered that discussion past our initial conversations about whether or not that could happen. So it is not part of the bid. But that's not to say that we can't further discuss that as we move forward.
Thank you, Beth. Councilor Dibble.
Hey, Madam President, thank you to the city solicitor for clarifying that. Hopefully the city will get on it right away to make sure that the developer fulfills his past promise that he'll pay for the paving of the parking lot, and it can be all lined up, so it can all be done at the same time, as the developer said. I believe he said something like, if I'm paving my property, I might as well pave your parking lot, do it all at one time. But if you wait too long, then the deal's off, or whatever he said. So let's line it up so that we get a free parking lot, if you would. But my motion still stands. I'd like to have the deed restriction on that the parcel B cannot be built upon as part of our vote here tonight, Madam President.
Second. Second.
Motion is to amend the order to include the deed restriction of no build on parcel B. Seconded by Councilor, I think it was Councilor. Any further discussion on the amendment? Councilor Riccardi.
Thank you, Madam President. I have a copy of the bid up, so I would just like to refer to the city solicitor to see what language we would put in there, because this is approving the response to the bid, which the restriction on the bid, there were essentially two restrictions that were on the bid. The first one says no building of any type shall be constructed on the parcel. So that's the language that we included in the bid. And then the other one was that the purchaser shall enter the environmental cleanup and aspects of those. I won't read that out. We're not discussing that right now, but I would just refer to see how we can add that in, since the order is approving the response to the bid where that is in there.
So I would suggest that the amendment may be that the mayor is authorized to execute a deed consistent with, and I can't remember what the bid number was, whatever the bid, if you have it right in front of you, whatever the bid number was and the date to be incorporated therein.
Okay, so that's bid number 2106260 from September 22nd.
So the city solicitor is recommending that we insert execute. Mayor is hereby authorized to execute deed restriction or execute deed.
Deed restriction, right? Sorry.
She's authorized to execute the deed consistent with whatever the bid number was, 20 dash. And if you want to spell out which limited development on the site and remediation, environmental remediation, you could certainly do that as well.
Okay, so we'll have the solicitor draft the final language, and then we can work on, and we can adopt as amended. So the motion on the floor is to amend the order to include execution of the deed consistent with the bid. That includes the two restrictions.
Madam President.
Councilor Sargent.
Thank you, Madam President. Just to be consistent, I'd ask the city solicitor's advice, but ask that we include the bid, the exact wording of the bid and the bid number on the deed on the encumbrance page, so we're consistent. We're consistent with what the bid was, what we voted on tonight, and that exact wording will be on the encumbrance page of the deed, so that nothing is more restrictive than the deed itself. So if somebody looks up the deed in the future, they'll see right on it what the bid was and what was expected.
Yes, Council. The City Council order is attached to the deed when we record any deed from the city. So that will be recorded with the deed. It will be attached. The city clerk will give us a certified copy.
And that will be on the encumbrance page of the deed, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, as long as all the wording is just the wording's the same, the vote's the same, and the deed's the same, we'll be on solid ground. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. I'd like to note that I would like to see councilors speak no more than twice on each matter. So if you've already spoken twice on the matter, I would allow you to speak once more, and please keep it brief so we can move forward. Councilor Dibble.
Good idea, Madam President. This is my second time speaking. I'd like to see that not a reference to the bid, but the actual wording on the bid. So I welcome the friendly amendment from the Ward 6 councilor to be added. And I like that she also brought up the remediation as well. That would get the city of Salem off the hook for any future costs should it fall back on us. So that's a good idea to add both the no build and the remediation at the developer's cost. So the exact wording, I guess let me reframe my motion. I'd like it to be the exact same wording for those two conditions be added to our vote here tonight as read by our city solicitor a few minutes ago. One on the no build on the property and two on the remediation by the developer. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Any further discussion? The motion on the floor is to amend the order to add allowing the mayor to execute the deed consistent with bid number, I believe is 2106260, to be confirmed by our city solicitor, and to specifically include the language on the two restrictions, first being the no build and second being the cost of the remediation to be taken on by the developer. Seeing no further discussion, we'll take a roll call on that amendment. Madam City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Council Torrio,
Yes.
Council Sargent,
Yes.
Council Riccardi,
Yes.
Council Kwasniewski,
Yes.
Council Marcello,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Council Hapworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dibble,
Yes.
and Council Madore.
Yes. On the amendment, we have 10 councilors voting, 10 in the affirmative, none in the negative. The amendment carries. On the motion to adopt, any further discussion? Seeing none, we do need at least 8 votes to adopt this. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Council Torrio,
Yes.
Council Sargent,
Yes.
Council Riccardi,
Yes.
Council Kwasniewski,
Yes.
Council Marcello,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Council Hapworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dibble,
Yes.
and Council Madore.
Yes. On the matter of the order authorizing the mayor to execute the deed for parcel B, as amended, I will wait for the city solicitor to bring the city clerk the final language. We have 10 councilors voting, 10 in the affirmative, none in the negative. The matter carries. Move back to page 7. If anyone wants to make a motion, Councilor DeVoe.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to just thank Ms. Sterling for following this Franklin Street project for many years. She has contacted me probably about 15 times on this, so I'm sure that she's contacted the ward councilors a couple hundred times. Councilor Riccardi can speak to that. I think she's contacted all of them. So she should be credited with the job that she's done to help protect her neighborhood. Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to move that we return to the regular portion of our meeting tonight.
Councilor DeVoe, thank you. Thank you, Ann. Councilor DeVoe moves to return to page 7. Communications from the mayor.
We have been ordered that the sum of $34,058.58 be approved within the Retirement Stabilization Fund for vacation sick leave buyback for a school employee department.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Councilor Terrio moves to suspend the rules. Seeing no objection, Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I also move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion?
Thank you, Madam President. Ms. Harrington's had a long career with Salem Public Schools, and we wish her well in her retirement.
Thank you, Councilor. Any further discussion? Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. I also would like to thank Ms. Harrington for the work that she's done for our Salem children for years and years. I've seen her in action. in so many different ways. She's a Ward 7 resident, lives almost across the street from me. And what she's done up at the former Bowditch School and now the Horace Mann School, and I think another school right before that, she is a leader, and she's done a great job with so many hundreds of children from Salem. So thank you, Jane Harrington.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Council Torrio,
Yes.
Council Sargent,
Yes.
Council Riccardi,
Yes.
Council Presnewski,
Yes.
Council Marcillo,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Council Hapworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dibble,
Yes.
and Council Madore.
Yes. On the matter of the appropriation for Ms. Jane Harrington's retirement, we have 10 councilors voting, 10 in the affirmative, none in the negative. The matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We've been ordered that the sum of $20,000 be appropriated from free cash to the Health Department contracted services to fund labor and equipment rental costs for the Mac Park Food Farm.
Council Torrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Council Torrio moves to suspend the rules. Seeing no objection, Council Torrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote. I'll also note that if there are any specific questions, this is fairly clear cut, but if there are any specific questions, we have Carrie Murphy in the audience from the food farm. This is for equipment rental and planting costs and supplemental work, and it covers the upcoming spring season for what has been a very successful project for the city.
Thank you, Councilor. Any further discussion? Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. I have to agree with the Ward 5 councilors. This is a wonderful project. We're spending possibly $20,000 here. I'm not sure what we've already spent. Only concern is, and perhaps it can be addressed, is if the project has gone out to bid. The Maitland Farm, they're wonderful people. They live in Ward 7. And I support what they do, and I'm absolutely thrilled that they're part of this entire project. But there are other services being provided here as well, beyond what they do. So my question is, has the project gone out to bid? Because we're spending $20,000, and that's well above the threshold of what we can simply award to any one vendor without going out to bid.
So I'd ask if Madam City Clerk, and if there's no objection, I'd move for a suspension to allow Carrie to address us. She's in the audience and she has her hand up, so she's representing the food farm. So if you can bring her in so she can speak.
Councilor Torrio moves to allow Ms. Carrie Murphy to address the council. Seeing no objection. Carrie.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Councilor Torrio. Thank you, Councilor Dibble, for your question. This project did go out for bid over the summer, and both Maitland Farm and Homegrown Urban Abundance Gardening, which is owned by Patrick Schultz and Matthew Buchanan, were selected as the hired contractors for a 3-year term with 1-year options.
Thank you, Carrie. Any further discussion? Or questions for Carrie? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Council Torrio,
Yes.
Council Sargent,
Yes.
Council Riccardi,
Yes.
Council Presnewski,
Yes.
Council Marcillo,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Council Hapworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dibble,
Yes.
and Council Madore.
Yes. On the matter of appropriation to support the Mac Park Food Farm, 10 councilors voting, 10 in the affirmative, none in the negative. The matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We've been ordered that the sum of $16,768 be approved within the Retirement Stabilization Fund Vacation Sick Leave buyback account for a school department employee.
Councilor Torrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Councilor Torrio moves to suspend the rules. Seeing no objection.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Torrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Any further discussion?
Thank you, Madam President. This is for Susan Redfield. I wish her well in her retirement as well.
Thank you, Counselor. Any further discussion? I see a thumbs up. Madam City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Counselor Torrio,
Sorry, I had to move the mouse. Yes.
Counselor Sargent,
Yes.
Counselor Riccardi,
Yes.
Counselor Presniewski,
Yes.
Counselor Morcillo,
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy,
Yes.
Counselor Hepworth,
Yes.
Counselor Flynn,
Yes.
Counselor Dibble,
Yes.
and Counselor Madore.
Yes. On the appropriation upon Miss Susan Redfield's retirement, 10 counselors voting, 10 in the affirmative, none in the negative, the matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We've been ordered that the sum of $7,000 be appropriated from free cash to the Council on Aging Vehicle Parts and Accessory account for state inspections and maintenance and repairs.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Councilor Terrio moves to suspend the rules. Seeing no objection, Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Any discussion?
Thank you, Madam President. This is restoring some money to maintain our fleet of Council on Aging vehicles. They had been very conservative with that at the beginning of the year, and simply put, the costs of keeping these on the road has gone up some, and it's explained fairly well in our packets for the costs that they've had, but this should keep them going and take care of inspections and some spare parts for the remainder of the year.
Thank you, Councilor. Any further discussion? Councilor DeVoe.
Thank you, Madam President. I think we need to have a discussion on this, and maybe we can have a mini one right now, but the repair on these vehicles should and has been and can be done by city employees using our garages, our tools, our overhead, our lights, on and on. To send these out and have them serviced at a private facility is going to be much more costly for them to go out. So in the correspondence that we have here, the reason is being blamed on COVID, but to me, that makes no sense at all. You know, our seniors, and this is only $7,000 here, but more money was spent previous to this, and I think much more will be spent after this if we keep sending our vehicles out. So our vehicles, not just the senior, the shuttles, but all of our vehicles. So our seniors, our police, the fire department, the public works, our entire staff deserve better. And we need to have a discussion on the lack of attention of what's going on the city mechanics in repairing our vehicles. If one employee retires, and one just did, who knew how to maintain these vehicles, we need to make sure that there's a replacement and there's somebody else that can step in as well. So I move that this go to committee, so we have, and co-post it with committee of the whole, and we have a bigger discussion on this, not to hold this up for the seniors at all, but if this is just the tip of the iceberg and there's more vehicles, it's going to be substantially more costly. We need to bring in the public works director and have a discussion about what is going on here and when is the mechanic coming on board. Okay, thank you, Madam President. So I move to put this in committee.
Councilor DeVoe moves to refer the matter to the Committee on Administration and Finance, I guess.
Recommendation.
Correct.
Yes,
Correct. Co-posted.
Co-posted. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Sargent. Under discussion, Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President. I would suggest to the good counselor that rather than hold up, because I have no idea how long it will take to hire somebody to replace the retiree, but rather than risk holding up the vehicles that need to be have their state inspections and also need to be maintained at this time, to make sure that our seniors that rely on these vehicles for doctor's appointments and going up to Market Basket or wherever else they need them for, that we move on this appropriation, then you bring in an order to have the DPS director come in and talk about what his plan for maintenance in the future, rather than try to hold up this appropriation, because as you stated, this very important that we get these vehicles inspected. And the last thing I would want is to have these vehicles uninspected and not be able to be on the road even if they were functional. So that would be rather than refer this matter to committee, would have you bring in an order as a late file to have a discussion and bring the DPS director in front of finance rather than hold this appropriation up at this time. That would be my friendly amendment. Thank you.
Before the Ward 7 councillor respond, as the mayor, I just point out that in the narrative that we've gotten, we've also been made aware that DPS is actively trying to refill that position. It was initially left unfilled due to budget uncertainty over COVID. That was what Ms. O'Brien told us. So, they left it they left it unfilled initially due to the COVID situation and budget issues then. With finances more stable, they are now trying to refill that position. And there's also, we've seen some other things that have been refilled and refunded within the city government. And besides that, I would agree with the Ward 1 councillor. If you look what they're saying, that at approximately halfway through the budget cycle, they're down to $34. So I think funding this is fairly important. It is probably worth a discussion as to what the longer term plans are as far as our staffing, but I don't think it's holding this up is worth it.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor McCarthy has made a friendly amendment to have Councillor Dibble bring in an order to further discuss details of the expenditure. Councillor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. I welcome the comments and amendments by the Ward 1 and Ward 5 councillors. We have the matter before us right now. I don't think it even requires a late file. We can vote to approve this and put it into committee as well for discussion. It's before us right now. We can do both. So I'd like to reframe my motion so it gets to the gist of what the Ward 1 council was recommending. I move that we vote to approve this, but also send it to the Committee on Administration and Finance, co-posted with Committee of the Whole for a discussion. Even though we're going to approve it tonight, we can also have a discussion on it. So no late file is required. But I appreciate the Ward 1's councilors' comments and the Ward 5 councilors. Thank you both.
Thank you, Councillor. So the motion on the floor is amended to move for adoption and refer to the Committee on Administration and Finance. Co-posted. We already have a second.
Second.
Seconded by Councillor Sargent. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councillor Torrio,
Yes.
Councillor Sargent,
Yes.
Councillor Riccardi,
Yes.
Councillor Kwasniewski,
Yes.
Councillor Marcillo,
Yes.
Councillor McCarthy,
Yes.
Councillor Hapworth,
Yes.
Councillor Flynn,
Yes.
Councillor Dibble,
Yes.
and Councillor Madore.
Yes. On the matter of appropriation to the Council on Aging to maintain and repair the COA vehicles and move for adoption and refer to the Committee on Administration and Finance, co-posted, 10 councillors voting, 10 affirmative, none negative, the matter carries. Further communication from the mayor.
Have been ordered that the sum of $4,950 be appropriated within the capital outlay account to be expended for the emergency repair of the library's fire alarm.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. Actually, I move that this one be withdrawn. They have discovered that there is some more work that needs to take place to their fire system, alarm system as well, and they will be back to us shortly with the updates.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor moves to withdraw the order.
Mm-hmm.
Do we vote on that? Madam City Clerk.
I'm sorry?
We need to vote on the withdrawal? No? Okay. Further communication from the mayor.
We have an order to accept the donation of grocery store gift cards from Tropical Products equal to a value of $1,425 to assist Salem residents in need. These gift cards will be distributed by the Salem Police Department.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion?
Thank you, Madam President. This is something very generous that the people of Tropical Products have done. They're using this to, they're providing gift cards to Market Basket for us to be able to provide to families of need. They've already done the steps of making things like hand sanitizer and such that the police have been using. So they've done a lot of work over this last year to really help out Salem families, and it's very much appreciated.
Agreed. Any further discussion? Councilor Kwasniewski.
I'd like to personally thank Tropical Products at Berman in particular, because as soon as COVID hit, this company did step up to the plate and right away started to mass produce and distribute the hand sanitizers, not only to the Salem Police, but throughout the city and to other city departments. There's no doubt in my mind that Tropical Products made a big difference in how this virus spread throughout this city. Their gesture, in my mind, saved a lot of people, a lot of sickness. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Flynn.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd also like to echo what was previously said. Tropical Products being Award 4, they really did step up. And we're really lucky in our community to have a company like this that wants to help out. And I'd like to recommend that we send the city seal. Maybe they can hang that in their lobby just to know that we appreciate their hard work and their generosity. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Madam City Clerk, would you prepare that for Tropical Products? Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilor Terrio.
Yes.
Councilor Sargent.
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi.
Yes.
Councilor Kwasniewski.
Yes.
Councilor Marcello.
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth.
Yes.
Councilor Flynn.
Yes.
Councilor Dibble.
Yes.
And Councilor Madua.
Yes. On the matter to accept donation from Tropical Products, 10 councilors voting, 10 in the affirmative, none in the negative, the matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
In order to accept a donation from Cummins Properties in the amount of $1,000 to the Salem Fire Department. Councilor Flynn recused.
Let the record reflect that Councilor Flynn has recused himself. Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Any further under discussion?
Thank you, Madam President. This is a very nice donation from Cummings Properties. They are very active in this area with all their property and rental properties in commercial space in Beverly. And my business was once a tenant there many years ago. They do a lot of this to support organizations around the North Shore and to support our local public safety. And it's nice of them to help out. So thank you to Cummings.
Thank you, Councilor. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilor Terrio.
Yes.
Councilor Sargent.
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi.
Yes.
Councilor Kwasniewski.
Yes.
Councilor Marcello.
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth.
Yes.
Councilor Dibble.
Yes.
And Councilor Madua.
Yes. On the matter to accept donation from Cummings Properties to the Salem Fire Department, 9 councilors voting, 9 in the affirmative, none in the negative, the matter carries. Mayor's informational page, none. Motions, orders, and resolutions. Let the record reflect that Councilor Flynn has returned. Motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Riccardi.
Thank you, Madam President. In the year 2021, an ordinance relative to traffic, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Salem as follows. Section 1, Section 10 of Article I be amended by repealing the following. Beaver Street, one-way streets from where the easterly end of Silver Street intersects with Beaver Street, thence easterly to Grove Street, 1878. Beaver Street, one-way streets from where the easterly end of Silver Street intersects with Beaver Street, thence easterly to the easterly end of the property line of number 17 Beaver Street, and replacing them with Beaver Street, one-way streets from where the westerly end of Silver Street intersects with Beaver Street, thence easterly to the easterly end of the property line of number 17 Beaver Street. Section 2 of this ordinance shall take effect as provided by city charter. And I move for adoption for first passage by roll call vote.
Councilor Riccardi moves for adoption for first passage by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. This is a street that dissects right down. One side is Ward 4 and the other side is Ward 6. There was a conversation in City Council in 2019 regarding a portion of Beaver Street and making it one way. And I just want to say this is not that portion. So the conversation that was in council about a year and a half ago was the end of Beaver Street that intersects with Grove Street. What was happening was there's a little portion after Grove Street turns off of Beaver Street that's still a two-way street, and it needs to continue to stay a two-way street. And then it turns into a one-way street right behind the AOH. What happened though is we assumed it turned into a one-way street and it was just one way for the remainder of Beaver Street. It actually, at the other end of Beaver Street over by Watson, and then there's Stafford, I believe, it turns back into a two-way street. And it's very thin and narrow there, and the neighbors were concerned because cars were cutting through that didn't live there and whipping around. So I met with the Lieutenant Tucker from the police department and Dave Kurtuski from the Traffic and Parking Commission down there. We spoke with the neighbor that submitted the request to turn this into one way and kind of monitored the traffic flow for a little while. It definitely made sense. The next weekend I went out and spoke with residents on Beaver and also Silver, which is right behind Beaver. The majority of those that I spoke with thought that it was already a one-way street, the portion that we're changing. So I'm feeling comfortable resubmitting this request to officially make the portion of the street one way.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Flynn, would you have any addition you would like to make?
Thank you, Madam President. I am glad that the good Ward 6 Councilor clarified this has nothing to do with a year and a half ago with that section down behind the AOH. In living in this city for my entire life and working in that part of town, I always thought this little section of Beaver Street was already a one-way, to be honest with you. I don't think anyone really was aware outside of the neighbors there that that was a two-way for that one short little section. But for safety purposes, for people trying to cut through in the middle of that street and go left towards by Stafford and Watson, it seems that it's a no-brainer that it's going to have to continue. It should be a one-way street, as most people in the city already felt it was. So I think this is a good move. I'm glad the traffic and the PD worked great along with the Ward 6 Councilor in making this happen. So this is a good thing. I support this. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilor Torrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi?
Yes.
Councilor Presnowski?
Yes.
Councilor Marcillo?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Hepworth?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dibble?
Yes.
And Councilor Madore.
Yes. On the matter of the ordinance amendment for Beaver Street, we have 10 councilors voting, 10 affirmative, none in the negative. The matter carries. Committee reports. Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. City of Salem and City Council, January 14th, 2021. The Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs, to whom was referred the matter of granting of certain licenses, has considered said matter and would recommend approval.
On acceptance of the report, all those in favor? Let the record show that I see 9 hands plus my own. On adoption of the recommendation, all those in favor? Let the record show that I see 9 hands plus my own. On the matter carries. Unanimous. Oh, I lost a page. Oh, 13. I didn't lose a page. Page 13. Communications for city officials. We are on the bottom.
We have the following communication from the city clerk relative to agenda minutes and management software.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. This is basically an update from the city clerk. So in my very first year on the city council, a couple of us worked with some vendors to look at the idea of modernizing council processes and taking our agendas and putting them truly online and being able to work with it and have a real documentation stream and make it easier for the public to be able to follow our materials as well. And it's sort of, we had some money in the budget for a couple of years that was put there and never used to do that. And now our city clerk is really trying to grab a hold of this and work on it again to hopefully benefit everybody in the city and this body. So she's working with a couple of vendors again. She's bringing this to our attention and has asked if, for a counselor or two to work with her. I would presumably do that again because, well, A, it's my day job, and B, I was in the process before. So I would do that. If another member of the council would like to, to engage in this process, I think we would welcome that. And my motion in this one is for it to be received and filed. But if another counselor would like to reach out, we'll find another member who would, could participate in it.
Thank you, Councilor. So you're suggesting to be part of the discussion in addition to another?
Yeah, I worked in the initial round of this. I worked with the city clerk on when we first were working with this. There's still a few of the companies that are in this field, including the one we worked at and we're looking at the system from back in 2012. And it's only gotten better since 2012. So we'd like to work on this for probably the next couple of months and then come back to the council and to the budget process with a recommendation.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Terrio moves that this be received and filed. Under discussion, Councilor Dibble, you had your hand up.
Thank you, Madam President. Yes, I would just like to volunteer with the Ward 5 counselor, and let's get it done this time.
Okay, yeah, we'll see who, offline, we'll see who puts their name in as interest in doing it. And then we just have to make sure that we don't have any conflicts, or quorum issues that come up with that for committees and stuff. So we'll make sure, we have that all set.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is to move this be received and filed. All those in favor? Let the record reflect that I see, Councilor McCarthy, was that a question? Oh. Record reflect that I see 9 hands plus my own. All those opposed, none. The matter carries. Petitions.
We have a list of public guard applications.
Very long list. Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that this be granted.
Councilor Marcillo moves that these be granted. Under discussion?
No discussion.
Councilor Marcillo moves that these be granted. All those in favor? Let the record show that I see 9 hands plus my own. All those opposed, none. The matter carries. Further petitions.
We have a list of license applications for junk dealer, C1, secondhand clothing, and secondhand valuables and tags.
Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that this be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs.
Councilor Marcillo move these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs. All those in favor? Let the record show that I see 9 hands plus my own. Those opposed, none. The matter carries. Further petitions.
We have a list of drain layer contractor license applications.
Councilor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that these be granted.
Councilor Marcelo moved these be granted. All those in favor? Let the record show that I see 9 hands plus my own. None opposed. One opposed. Not all those opposed. None. The matter carries. Further petitions.
We have 2 claims.
Councilor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs.
Councilor Marcelo moves that these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, License, and Legal Affairs. All those in favor? Let the record show that I see 10 hands plus my own. All those opposed, none. The matter carries. Further petitions.
We have 2 constable bonds.
Councilor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs and returned approved.
Councilor Marcelo moves that these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, License, and Legal Affairs and return approved. All those in favor? All those opposed, none. Let the record reflect that I saw 9 hands plus my own for approval. The matter carries. Unfinished business.
We have the second passage of an ordinance amending traffic relative to parking time limited and parking prohibited on certain streets for Dodge Street.
Councilor Chorio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption for second and final passage by roll call vote.
Councilor Chorio moves for adoption for second and final passage by roll call vote. Under discussion?
No discussion, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Torrio,
Yes.
Councilor Sargent,
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi,
Yes.
Councilor Prosnowski,
Yes.
Councilor Marcello,
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy,
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth,
Yes.
Councilor Flynn,
Yes.
Councilor Dibble,
Yes.
and Councilor Madore.
Yes. On the matter of the second and final passage of the traffic ordinance, 10 councilors voting, 10 in the affirmative, none in the negative, matter carries. Further unfinished business.
We have the second passage of an ordinance amending traffic relative to resident sticker park in Woodbury Court.
Councilor Riccardi.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption for second passage by roll call vote.
Councilor Riccardi move for adoption for second and final passage by roll call vote. Under discussion?
No discussion.
No discussion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Torrio,
Yes.
Councilor Sargent.
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi,
Yes.
Councilor Prosnowski,
Yes.
Councilor Marcello,
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy,
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth,
Yes.
Councilor Flynn,
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez. Oh, sorry, last one. Councilor Dibble,
Yes.
Councilor Madore,
Yes. On the matter of amending traffic ordinance relative to Woodbury Court, I have 10 councilors voting, 10 affirmative, none in negative, the matter carries. Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President. Before we entertain the idea of a motion to adjourn, can I have a moment of personal privilege?
Councilor McCarthy asked for a point of personal privilege, seeing no objection. Councilor McCarthy.
I just want to say congratulations on your first meeting. Yes, claps. We had a brief discussion earlier, right before the meeting, and I could tell you were really frustrated about your eyes and maybe the ability not to conduct your first meeting. And you came through it like a trooper, and you hit that gavel like you're a carpenter. So we're all set. We're in good hands, and I want to congratulate you on a job well done.
Thank you. I can do this job half blind. Everybody else can do it, right?
Exactly.
We can see that.
She can't. That's the problem.
Exactly. That was a dad joke.
Councilor Flynn. Thank you, Councilor McCarthy. Councilor Flynn.
Thank you, Madam President. I was going to ask you a question and the city clerk a question earlier when we took the vote on the Council on Aging. If I should have recused myself from that, my daughter does an internship there, paid internship. but I didn't because it had to do with the vehicle maintenance. Just your feelings on that. I'm sorry that I stopped you now for this.
Madam City Clerk?
I can reflect your comments in the minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Any further comments or questions? Seeing none, Counselor Sargent.
Thank you, Madam President. Again, I'd like to congratulate you on a job well done. It's not easy being there all by yourself. Hope to be with you there soon and get this virus thing over with. But good job. And move for adjournment.
Thank you. I have the ghosts with me, so I'm all set. Counselor Sargent moves for adjournment. All those in favor? I see 9 hands plus my own. Those opposed? We are adjourned. Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.